Welcome to Lead with Clarity. This is a space for leaders who want to grow without losing themselves in the process. Each episode is a short reflection on leadership, influence, and the inner work that shapes how we show up for others. It's not hype, it's not noise, just clear thinking for the journey of leading well. Today's episode is entitled The Leadership Ceiling. Leadership is one of those words we all use, but we often treat it like a vibe instead of a discipline. John Maxwell said, "Everything rises and falls on leadership." That sounds dramatic until you've lived through a time where the plan was solid, the team was capable, but progress still stalled. When outcomes slip, most leaders immediately reach for tactics, new tools, new structure, new process. And those can help, but the deeper question is usually simpler. What did we model? What did we allow? What did we reinforce? Organizations don't drift toward excellence. They drift toward whatever is easiest to repeat. A common misread of John's quote is thinking it means the leader has to do everything, or that leadership is about control. It's not. It's about clarity. It's about setting direction, defining standards, and building the conditions where people can perform without confusion or fear. When leadership is clear, teams move with confidence. Decisions don't linger. Accountability feels fair. Trust grows because people know what good looks like, and they can count on consistency. When leadership is unclear, the opposite happens. People start guessing. They hedge. They wait for approval. Meetings multiply. Politics creep in. High performers get frustrated because they're compensating for ambiguity. And eventually, momentum becomes expensive. So let's reframe this. If everything rises and falls on leadership, then leadership is not primarily about charisma. It's about stewardship. Stewardship of attention. What you choose to focus on becomes the organization's focus. Stewardship of standards. What you tolerate becomes the culture. Stewardship of pace. How you decide becomes how the team decides. Stewardship of people. How you develop leaders determines how far the organization can scale. If you want the business to rise, don't only ask for better results. Ask for better leadership behaviors, more consistent expectations, cleaner decision-making, stronger coaching, more honest feedback, more ownership at the right levels. And maybe the most confronting part, your organization is responding to you even when you think it's not. Carry the following forward as a reflection. If you could change one leadership habit that would raise the ceiling for your team, what would it be? Not for optics, not for productivity theater, but for real clarity and trust. That's the work. Quiet, consistent, compounding. At the end of the day, leadership is stewardship. It's stewardship of attention, of standards, of pace, and of people. You don't have to be louder, but you do have to be clearer. And when you're clear often enough, your team stops guessing and starts building.